Hello, 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 and welcome to your daily Spirit of the Soul show. It's Power Coach Alicia here. I am really excited for today's session, and it is all about how to release your past without falling into a depression. Okay, and the reason why I decided that this would be a powerful session for us to talk about today is because I'm constantly hearing that women are not taking the time to dive in and pay attention to themselves because they're afraid. They're afraid of what they'll find. They're afraid of getting stuck. They're afraid of the truth of all the shit that they've shoved in there and that they, have forgotten about. And if this is you, I'm just here to say that it doesn't matter if you avoid it because you're scared of what you'll find, or if you pretend like it doesn't exist because it was a long time ago and life has moved on and you're way past that. Listen, that bullshit is going to come back, and it's going to come back with a vengeance. And so that's why I wanted to talk about how to release your past without falling into a depression in today's session of the Spirit of the Soul show. So I do want to let you know that there's a couple of things that I want to let you know of. So first and foremost is that I have a brand new quiz that I am putting together. And if you want first dibs on this quiz, it is all about, excuse me, your soul awakening, your spiritual awakening journey, where you're at on this journey and where you want to hone in and where you want to focus so that you don't get stuck, right? Because when you're in a spiritual awakening, it's about moving forward. It's about taking action, right? So whether you think of it as a spiritual awakening or you think of it as soul alignment, that's what I will say a lot. This quiz is about where are you at in your soul alignment process? Where do you really need to double down and focus in on? And what are the best next steps for you to take? So if you want access to this quiz as soon as I get it done, you want to shout out soul in the comments. Like I said, it is free, so you're not going to have to, spend money on it or anything, but it will pay you in so much powerful information, because once you take this quiz, we jump on a soul healing session and I teach you how to take these results and actually turn them into an actionable plan for yourself. I mean, there's tons of quizzes out there, right? This isn't just another quiz that you take, you get the results, and you move on with your life. This is a quiz you take, you get the results, and you use it to empower yourself. The other thing that I want to let you know is that I have a soul treat, which is a retreat for your soul, coming up on March 26th. And this soul treat is about creating a calm in all areas of your life by cleaning and clearing all the things that no longer serve you. And you're going to learn how to do this with the energy and the power of the spring equinox and stepping into a new season. So when you step into my world, I teach you how to use the energies that are going on in the universe to empower your soul healing, to supercharge your soul healing, and to help you have a radical, lasting transformation. And that's exactly what we're doing in the Q2 Spring Clean and Clear retreat. Okay. So it's a soul treat. I like to call it a soul treat. It's a play on words. I love it for so many reasons. If you want access to this, it is on early bird right now. So this is the best price you are ever going to get. If you are a Soul Shift Healing member, you get a killer discount on this for being a member. And there is a special link in the chat for Soul Shift members that you already have. Click that link and sign up. If you wait, no matter if you're a member or you're not a member, you will end up paying $333 for this soul treat at full price. And it is absolutely worth it at the full price. I just want to let you know that. So shout out, clear in the comments if you want the link to that soul treat. Shout out soul in the comments if you would like the link to take the quiz to see where you're at on your spiritual awakening soul alignment journey, to know where you need to focus and where you need to shift. Now, this is a brand new quiz. So if you've taken a quiz of mine before, this one is brand new. So you're going to want to grab that link and take that quiz. All right. Now, if you are live with me, I want you to drop hashtag live party in the comments. If you are on replay, you're just going to drop hashtag after party in the comments. And please note that I want you following along with me here. I want you engaging in the comments step by step by step, because if you are actively paying attention to what I'm saying, you're engaging in the comments, you're actually going to retain the information. And today's session is from a soul camp that I did. I think it was a couple of years ago, at least a year ago. And it was so freaking powerful. So I'm really excited to dive into this on how to release the past without falling into a depression. So again, hashtag live party in the comments if you're live, hashtag after party if you are watching this on replay. During this session, you're going to learn what it takes to heal your soul by creating a strong, emotional, and healthy bond with yourself without getting stuck in the emotions, energy, and mindset of the situation, circumstances, and things that do not serve you. So this is the power of this session. This is what we're talking about in this session, and this is what I'm bringing to you today. So how to heal your soul through a strong, emotional, and healthy bond with yourself. Like, oh, I just said that. Without getting stuck in the emotions, blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, I just said that. You're also going to learn how to give to others without exhausting and depleting yourself mentally, physically, or emotionally. See, people will tell you that if you go to these places in you, right? If you get deep down into these places within you to release your traumas, that you're going to fall into a depression. So therapy teaches you, you know what? Just learn that what has happened to you was there for a reason, right? You went through it for a reason. And then therapy is like, okay, I'm going to show you how to operate in the world with those things still existing, but without them overtaking you. Okay. So when we talk about releasing your traumas, you can't fall into a depression when you are in active action. Write that down. In active action, you cannot fall into a depression, right? So I'm going to put that in the chat too. I want you to put, actually, that's what I want to do. Comment that in the chat. In active action, I don't know how you can have action without activity. So in action, you cannot fall into depression. Okay. Now, and when we talk about in soul action, I'm gonna tweak that. So in soul action, you cannot fall into into depression or into a depression. So put that in the chat. Even if you've already put the other thing in the chat, put that in the chat. In soul action, you cannot fall into a depression. Ooh, I need to move over. Okay, here's why. Because depression is stagnant, stuck energy. So if you are in a depression, it's because you're not moving. There is no action. There is no soul action that is moving you, or that you weren't doing it before, so that got you here. Okay? You don't move into depression taking active soul action. Okay? You get into depression by not taking soul action. Now, you can also put yourself, so the flip side of this, the duality of this is that you can become depressed by overactivity of distraction. Okay? Put this in the chat. You can become depressed by overactivity of distraction. That's the duality of that. So in soul action, you cannot fall into a depression because you are actively taking action for your soul to heal, to align, to awaken, to transform, to transition, to bloom, to become anew. However, in avoidance, the duality of that, in avoidance and being in overactivity of distraction from whatever is going on, your life, yourself, your being, your you, your soul, your spirit, right? You can become depressed. Do not conflict and confuse those two things. In soul action, you cannot fall into a depression. But the duality is you can become depressed by overactivity of distraction. Make sure you throw down both of those in the chat, okay? In soul action, you cannot fall into a depression. You can become depressed by overactivity of distraction, okay? So when you're with me, I want you shouting out in the comments. I want you interacting with me because I want you retaining this information. Also, I want to know, is this connecting with you? Does this make sense? Shout out yes in the comments if this makes sense. If it does not make sense, please ask whatever question you have right now, where that disconnection is, so I can help you with that clarity. Even if you're watching on replay, I will check the comments and respond, okay? So when you're told that if you go to those places where your traumas lie, you will fall into a depression, that can be true if you're going to those places with the wrong intent, right? Are you there to wallow? Are you there to pull information to repeat a story? Are you there to renew your lease in victimhood, right? Are you there so you can move back into victimhood, or so you can move into victimhood in the first place? Like, why are you acknowledging those traumas? Why are you paying attention to those traumas? Why are you bringing those traumas to the surface? The intent behind it is everything. In my world, you are going to those places to do the release work. So when people tell you that if you go to those places to, focus on your trauma and to do trauma work, you're going to fall into a depression, that's not true. Okay? This is not true because that is just such a blanketed mindset going to those places. In my world, you must go to those places. And I call that going soul deep, right? Because if you don't go soul deep and you don't go to those places and you don't acknowledge what the fuck is going on and all the shit you shoved in that box and all the shit that you've swept under the rug, if you don't acknowledge those, they're going to come back with a vengeance anyway. So please understand that avoidance, it is not the answer for healing. Okay. Avoidance is not the answer for pain. Okay. Right. Put this in the chat. Avoidance is not the answer to heal. Avoidance is not the answer to heal. Ever in any circumstance, avoidance is not the answer to heal. Even if it's a situation, circumstance, people, thing, place that is not for you, that you are disconnected from, that is not powerful, right? That takes away from you. You don't avoid it, you make a conscious decision to remove it from your world. Two different things. You might think that avoidance and, turning your back on that is a conscious decision to remove it from your world, but it's not. A conscious decision to remove it from your world is facing it head on. What is the lesson that it's here to teach you? What is the information that you are getting from this? Why is it here? Is this a cycle? Has it been here before and you just ignored it? Or did something happen? Did you say that you wanted to grow, that you wanted to change, that you wanted to evolve? And then this popped up and the universe is giving you the opportunity to do this work and you ignored it maybe in the past and now it's here again. So see, that is utilizing active action and thought process to make a decision to remove it from your life. Avoidance is it's there, but you're just not fucking paying attention to it. Avoidance is not the answer to heal, because the thing is, it's not good for you, because if you don't do the work to release the things from you, someone or something will always trigger you, and then you will be thrown into a downward spiral that leads to depression anyways. So in my world, we don't push forward. In my world, we are not full steam ahead. In my world, we're not just shoving the shit under the rug and then you have these tools to operate in life. In my world, we work for you to live at peak personal power. We work to clean, clear, and release these things from you. We do the fucking work. Yes, it's hard work, but the reward is unprecedented to any ways that you would feel in shoving it in a box or putting it in avoidant and learning to operate with it still there. And that is the work that we are doing inside of the Spring Clean and Clear retreat, right? Because you're learning, okay, where do I need to focus? What's going on? What's the thing that's, the most pressing and is at that forefront? And what's it saying? What do I need to do with it, right? This is how you learn to create a calm in all areas of your life. It's by cleaning, clearing, and releasing what no longer serves you. Releasing, not sitting in the shit, not reliving the shit, not going through cycles, but actually releasing it. So if you want the link for the early bird pricing for this soul treat, I want you to shout out clear in the comments and I will get you the link for that. And then remember, I have a brand new spiritual awakening quiz, and there are 6 stages to your spiritual awakening soul alignment journey. And this quiz is going to tell you right where you are in this journey. And then we're going to jump on a session. I'm going to take the answers that you got. And this is a free session. I'm going to take the answers that you gave and the result that you got, and we're going to plug it into your own soul alignment, soul healing plan that you can move forward in to really transform all areas of your life. So the soul treat's going to help you create a calm in all areas of your life. And this quiz is going to help you get the information that you need. Add me to that. And now you've got your soul healing, soul alignment plan to transform all the areas of your life. So for the quiz, you're going to shout out soul. For the early bird special link for the soul treat, you are going to shout out clear in the comments. Okay. All right. So the best thing for you to do. Now I want you to put this in the chat. If you're watching this, number 1, you should have already shouted out in the comments, #live-party. So if you are live with me, I want to see everyone who's live here shouting out #live-party. Help me with the Facebook algorithm. Help me get this out into the news feed. The content that is here is free. Okay. It's free content that I'm putting out there, except for the time that you spend to be here. So the only thing that I ask is for yourself and for you to retain it, to engage in the comments. And secondarily for me, for you to, when you also engage, that helps push it out into the news feed. More people will see it. So you're able to kind of pay this forward in a way, which makes that really beautiful. Okay. Without doing much work. So this is what you're going to put in the chat right now. Well, I'm going to tell you this, and then I'll tell you what to put in the chat. The best thing that you can do is to go to these places, these dark places. Hey, Anna, girlfriend, welcome in. Go to these places, this place inside of you. Generally, you have a couple of ways that you avoid, okay? One place that you will avoid is sweeping everything under this proverbial rug. Fuck it. I'm not even going to have to worry about it until you realize that you literally fucking walk over that pile every single day, all the time, because where you sweep it is in the most inconvenient fucking place, but also a place that you are always going to notice it. Okay. So you're either a rug sweeper or you just fucking avoid it. You avoid the conflict, you avoid the issues, you avoid the conversation, you avoid dealing with it. 1, it's easier if you just do it all yourself. 2, it's not worth it to upset everyone. 3, when you do bring it up, then you end up feeling guilty or whatever it is. You got to go back. See what I'm saying? So those are all avoidant moves. So this is what you're going to throw down in the chat. Get it all up, get it all out, and be completely honest with myself. Okay? So get it all up, get it all out, and be completely honest with myself. On the screen, it's going to say yourself, obviously, because I'm talking to you, right? Get it all up, get it all out, and be completely honest with yourself. That is the first step. Number 1, right? If you want to release your past without falling into a depression, you get into soul action. How do you get into soul action? You get it all up, you get it all out, and you be completely honest with yourself. Let me just tell you, the honesty with yourself is the fucking hardest part of this, because you've been lying to yourself inadvertently for years. That's what you've done to protect yourself, is lie to yourself. And even when you think you're telling the truth, you're not. The way you really learn how to quit lying to yourself, in my world, I will tell you. I've been doing this work since I was 10 years old. I'm about to be 40. I know, sounds crazy. I don't know how I learned what I learned when I was 10. I can't give you the logical side of that. But I have been doing this work with people since I was 10 years old. I have been saving people from committing suicide since I was 10 years old. And not one fucking person who has said they were going to kill themselves have killed themselves that I have saved. Okay? They've all lived. I was just thinking, I had this buddy named Jared Holland, and he did commit suicide. But I was thinking back in high school, just barely right now, did I ever help him not die? And I didn't. He was such a happy person. I was like thinking, oh my God, did I lose one person? But I didn't. I was never the person there for him, or he would still be here, but he wasn't meant to, right? So being completely honest with yourself is the hardest part because you've been lying to yourself. And man, I can see the lies because your eyes, your energy, your mannerism, I can see it like nobody's business. We're on Zoom. I'm going to know. I'm going to know that you're lying. I can tell by the way you articulate something. And let's be clear, this isn't a liar lie. This isn't like you're a liar lie. This is an inadvertent way that you've learned to operate to make it through life lying to yourself. Okay, you're not a liar. You don't run around lying to everybody else with like things, right? I mean, you do, because when you lie to yourself, you're lying to other people. But what I'm saying is, you are not lying to people. You're not a liar. Do not cross that with telling yourself the truth and being honest with yourself and lying to yourself. This is the hardest thing on the journey, because if you are lying to yourself, but you're not paying attention to that, you will make decisions, have conversations, you will cause disruptions, eruptions, and derailments in your relationship and with yourself and in your journey inadvertently, because this thing right here about being honest with yourself will literally fuck it all up. Okay? Okay. So think about the pressures that other people put on you. Okay? So let's put that now. Pressure others put on me. That's what I want you to put in the chat. My screen will say pressures others put on you. Okay, so put that in the chat if you can. Pressures others put on me. So you have to learn in this journey and how to release your past without falling into a depression of what is yours and what is not yours. Oh no. And you will see me do the hand thing all the time, because that's me fucking blocking. This isn't me putting my hand in someone's face, like, tuck to the hand. It's not that. You will see me put my hand up. And generally when I'm in conversation, I will do it to the side of me, just like this as well, not in front of me and in front of them. Unless it's something big that I really feel like they're pressing on me, my subconscious, I will automatically put my hand out in front. But most of the time it's to the side, like, listen, what you just gave me, this is me pushing it away. See, when you realize that people are putting things on you that aren't yours, that you don't own, that isn't your burden to bear, my favorite thing to say, not my circus, not my monkeys, it's like, But when you don't realize the pressures that others are putting on you, it's coming so fast towards you, towards your face, towards your being in your life. And you're just fucking doing your best to duck and dodge and put it where it goes, right? And it's really this fucked up, chaotic energy. Hence the Spring Clean and Clear Retreat being all about how to create a calm in all areas of your life by releasing what no longer serves you. This is everything that I do is very methodical. It's very systematic, and it's extremely on purpose. I don't just like throw up a retreat or throw up a soul camp, right? And my lives are starting to adjust. These Spirit of the Souls that I'm doing, and generally it's Mondays and Tuesdays. Sometimes I'll do Wednesdays, but generally I'm here Mondays and Tuesdays doing this show. Coming up in April, the Soulfire podcast will be back for season number 3, right? And the way that I devise my content, even though Soulfire podcast episodes are just things that happen and I think of and that come up in my life, and I curate a list of podcast ideas, when I sit down to record, the only thing I have is my thought process around that idea, or maybe it's 4 words, or maybe it's one fucking word, or whatever it is, and it's all riffing. And it's all riffing because of the journey and the power, the journey that I went through and the power that it brings you. So the reason why I share that is because you've got the Soulfire podcast. You have the Spirit of the Soul show that happens 2 to 3 days a week, right? Tap in, pay attention, listen to what the fuck that I'm saying. Like, this isn't for me. I don't need to do all this free stuff in order to have a business. This is for me to give you faith in yourself, to step the fuck forward, to make decisions and take action to change your fucking life. That's why I do this. For you, not for me. Okay? Okay. So what are the pressures others put on you? Pay attention. Okay? Then you want to be thinking about, our next is pressure you put on yourself. Put that in the chat. Pressures I put on myself. Mine will say pressure you put on yourself. You're going to write pressure I put on myself. Throw that down in the chat. Pay attention, because that pressures other people put on you is because you taught them how to treat you. So they're putting those pressures on you because of the pressure you put on yourself. When you change the pressure you put on yourself, the pressures others put on you will change. You're going to have to enforce it, but it will change. You taught them how to treat you. You taught them how to love you. You taught them how to fight with you or not. You taught them how to avoid you. You taught them how to manage your emotions. You taught them every single thing that they know about how to operate with you. They did not just learn it. You taught them it. It is not an automatic thing. So now you've got to go back and retrain how you treat yourself, which retrains how other people treat you. In my world, you will hear stuff like this all the time, from the different angles back to the same foundation. Why? Because I need to be able to get through to you what is most important. So it can't be beating a dead horse from the same angle all the time. So tonight is our recharge session for my Soul Shift Healing members. And we're going to be talking about how to go from chaos to calm in all areas of your life. No surprise that that is a solid topic inside of my Soul Shift membership. And then the retreat is about doing even more of that work. Then after the retreat, every one of the members come back to session, and then we put it into play, into a plan for 90 days. Do you see what I mean when I say everything that I do is systematic? It is no surprise that when people come into my world and life is fucked up and chaotic and disconnected and the burnout and spiritually tired and exhausted and their soul feels dead and they're just surviving, that within 30 days they feel recharged and like they can take on the world. There's no surprise that happens because of the way I have everything structured, right? So the Soul Shift membership is so powerful in shifting all of this extremely fast. And you're going to continue to hear repeats of the different things that I teach from different angles because that's what cements it for you. And that's where the transformations happen. Next is pressure I didn't realize was there. Pressure I didn't even realize was there. Oh, I meant to say you. Okay, so mine says pressure you don't even realize was there. Yours that you're dropping in the chat is pressure I don't even realize is there. Okay, I want you writing everything in first person so we can make sure you're receiving this the right way. Okay, so pressure you don't even realize is there. Like what? How do I figure that out? You step back and you pay attention. You step back away from the shit showery, the crazy saucery, right? These are my words. And you analyze, you're like, what the fuck? When did that happen? Well, where did that come from? Why is that there? I'm reminded of a husband that comes home from work and the house isn't clean. And he goes, well, what have you been doing all day? The house isn't clean. And he does that on a pretty regular basis, right? So then you step into this pressure that you don't realize is there because you think it's now like it is automatic now. And you think it's just something that you've done for as far back as you can remember. But the pressure of that time frame, probably an hour-ish of when they're going to be home from work, that pops up. And there's this massive pressure to perform, to do, to clean, to make, to, cook it, all the things, because they're going to be home. And that's a pressure you didn't realize was there. Now, maybe you do realize it, and that's pressure others put on you. Was that an agreement before you even got married and you moved in together? Like, I'm going to do all of this. Were you doing it automatically already? So you've taught them that that's how you operate? What is it? So with me in the Soul Shift membership, I provide the reconstruction that your soul needs to release the things that no longer serve you. And we do it together in such a way that you feel empowered and lighter and freer and happier. See, the power in this transformation is empowered soul healing. Put that in the chat. Empowered soul healing. It doesn't always feel empowered. I'm going to be clear on that. Sometimes it feels hard. It feels heavy. It feels like you got kicked in the fucking gut, stomped on the goddamn toe. Like, it doesn't always feel empowered, but the majority of the time it feels empowered. Empowered soul healing is how you go from burnout to recharge in 30 days or less. Empowered soul healing is how you go from stuck in your spiritual journey, stuck in your soul healing, stuck in yourself, stuck in your life, stuck in your relationships, stuck in the dark places, traumas, demons, and burdens. And you get moving and you shift from feeling stuck, surviving, to thriving in that 30 days or less. Empowered soul healing is where you go from being a people pleaser and giving and being and doing for everyone else at all costs at your own sacrifice to creating strong boundaries, enforcing those boundaries and not feeling guilty and not people pleasing. Okay. Empowered soul healing is where you go from this, I love to help other people, so that's why I do that. This external validation and worth that pushes you to give and strive and people please, to internal validation and worth, so that when someone says or does something, it just reconfirms what you already know. And then when someone asks something of you, you're making that decision from an objective standpoint in what you do have the ability, willingness, and capacity to give, opposed to doing it because of how it makes you feel because you gave to someone else that needed you. Do you hear me? Okay? Empowered soul healing is where we dive into these places that everywhere else you see everyone avoiding. Everywhere else you're being taught that it's just going to be there, but it's how you operate forward. Oh no, this fucking shit is going to go, because if it's there, it will always come back. And if it always comes back, it could derail you. And if it derails you, you beat yourself up. And if you beat yourself up, you go backwards. And if you go backwards, you end up in guilt and potentially suicide or complete emotional breakdown. Okay? That's why I do what I do. Now you might be thinking, yeah, but I'm scared to do this kind of work because I don't want to get stuck or pushed into a depression. See, we work on releasing these things from you forever, so that you can continue growing to the next level version of you without them creeping up and causing those derails. Okay? They're not going to come back. So what I want to know from you is what connected with you from this session of the Spirit of the Soul show today on how to release your past without falling into a depression. What connected with you today from this session on how to release your past without falling into a depression? Your number one takeaway, what really hit you hard, what you really connected with, that's what I want to know from you. What connected with you today from this session? If you don't know who I am, I'm Power Coach Alicia, soul healer, author, and speaker, and I specialize in helping women go from burnout to recharged in 30 days or less. Okay? That's the work that I do. That is everything that I bring out to the world. That's what the Spirit of the Soul show is about. The Soul Fire podcast is all about real life, real shit, real raw. It's basically my journey in my life and where I'm at and what's going on, how I handled it, what I think, what I feel, the lessons I learned, the tools that I use, and how I transform myself. That's what the podcast is all about, but it is delivered in a powerful, fucking unbelievable way with me that you don't get anywhere else. There's something about how I come up with the topics or how they connect with me, how I live my life, and how I bring them to the podcast that doesn't happen anywhere else. It doesn't happen anywhere else. You always get pieces of me everywhere we go, but the power in the container of the Soul Fire podcast is so fucking phenomenal. So if you have not subscribed to the Soul Fire podcast, you need to go to soulfirepodcast.com and get subscribed to it. Share it with your friends. We've got 2 seasons out there. I don't know, 60 some odd episodes. When the podcast comes back, we do new moon and full moon highlights, like high level. because inside of my Soul Shift membership, we do deeper level work with the new moon, full moon, equinox, and Mercury retrograde. So we do high level on the podcast so you can see what's coming and know the energy, but you're not really going to learn what to do with it. But at least you have some information there, right? Just such amazing things for you to step forward. And so I appreciate you being here with me, running through this session with me, being open. If you missed any of it, I'd go back and listen to it and like respond all out, right? Be fully present and active in your responses. Yes, I love this. Tori says, I connect with giving and where you are giving from. Yes, let me bring what she's saying to the forefront just to make sure that everybody understands what this sentence means. When you're giving, you must be giving from a place of what you have the ability, willingness, and capacity to give to them, not from the way that it makes you feel because you did give because someone needed you. You cannot give for validation of your worth. You have to give from the place of love that you have for them, but not at the expense of the love you don't have for yourself. I came up with something yesterday that I'm going to share with you right now. And it is brilliant. So we're going to put it in the chat and I'm going to make sure that everybody sees it. Here's my quote. Love yourself more than you love others, so that you can love others the way you love yourself. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Love yourself more than you love others so that you can love others the way you love yourself. That is the epitome of Power Coach Alicia, the Soul Healing Zone, Soul Healing Sanctuary, Soul Shift Healing Membership, my Revive Mastermind, every fucking soul camp that I do, every retreat, soul treat that I do, every in-person women's circle that I do, the books that I have written, the journals I've created, and the soul calendar for 2024 that I created, is to teach you how to love yourself more than you love others so that you can love others the way that you love yourself. That is the power of Power Coach Alicia. I love it. And I couldn't wait to share that with you. So there you go. So today, our key takeaways on how to release your past without falling into a depression is remembering that in soul action, you can't fall into a depression. You cannot, because you are in soul action. And because you weren't taking soul action, that's how the fuck you got there. But don't be confused that the duality of this is you can become depressed by overactivity of distraction. So if the action that you're taking, which is what most of my clients are doing, is in overactivity, in distraction, it's just distracted action. You have all of your energy in your kids, your partner, your friends, your career externally. Fuck yeah, you can become depressed. So it's not any action that you can't fall into depression. It's soul action. You can't fall into a depression. Always remembering that avoidance is not the answer to heal. And my client is constantly avoiding herself, her feelings, her emotions, what she needs to say, what she wants to do, how she wants to live, where she wants to be, where she wants to go. She is constantly avoiding that, but saying she wants to heal. So when she comes into my world, we nip that shit and we redefine how she shows up for herself. Because if you don't, you continue avoiding while saying you want to heal. Quit running through your life with this fucking bullshit of like, I can't wait to do this work so I can get better. And then you show up in your life telling the universe that that's a fucking lie. You do the work now. You start right fucking now. You join whatever it is now. You buy the book now. You take the course now. You use the tools now. You call the fucking therapist now. You do it now, not later. Stop going through life avoiding everything while saying that you're on this healing journey, or that you want to be on this healing journey, or that you're doing so good, or I'm going to get there one day. No, the fuck you're not. Or do you want that day to be when you have cancer? Do you want that day to be when your entire life actually crumbles down? Somebody you truly love dies, your husband fucking walks out the door, you find out they were cheating on you. When is that going to be? Why not be proactive about it and step forward now and not make the universe give you some sort of catastrophic, chaotic collapse of an event that pushes you there? Do it now. Do it on your own. Do the fucking hard work now. Quit avoiding yourself to show up for everybody else while pretending that you're actually showing up for you. That's what I have to say about that bullshit. The importance of the pain inside is getting it all up, getting it all out, and being completely honest with yourself. Key being completely honest with yourself. And it is not something you can do on your own. You have to have an outside person who can call that out and teach you how to tell yourself the truth. You've been lying to yourself for all of this time. There's no fucking way you're just going to automatically be telling yourself the truth. Pay attention to the pressures you put on you, the pressures that the pressures others put on you, the pressures you put on yourself, and the pressures you don't realize was there because you've been operating in these pressures for so long that now they're a part of you, but they are there, okay? Everything we do is about empowered soul healing, even when I am kicking your ass, right? It's like a preacher meets, I don't know, maybe a therapist in a way, meets a fucking ass kicker with power and teaches you and can infuse the worth in you that you don't have for yourself, the power in you that you don't have for yourself, the confidence in you that you don't have for yourself until you have it for yourself. And I promise you, you will end up having it for yourself. And when you do, you will be able to fucking feel it. You will feel the shift. You will feel the transition. You will feel the transformation. And it is unfucking believable. Okay. So remember to shout out in the comments what connected with you today from this session. I want to know. I'm going to come back and read them. And then lastly, remember that this entire journey with me here in the Soul Healing Zone is all about loving yourself more than you love others so that you can love others the way that you love yourself. Remember to say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. It is always about progress more than perfection. And you better give yourself way more grace than you give everyone else, because the world needs who you were made to be. So show up every single fucking day as the badass you are and slay. I'm Power Coach Alicia, and we'll see you next time.